How's it going, everybody? For today's beer review, we're going to be taking a look at Rogue Brewery's Beard Beer, an American Wild Ale. So, we've got a bit of a novelty review here today. This is Beard Beer by Rogue Brewing Company. It is classified on Beer Advocate as a wild ale. There seems to be some discrepancy with that. The information for this beer, it is 14 degrees plateau, 25 IBUs, so hardly any bitterness at all, 71 AA, 6 degrees L, I don't know what the hell any of that means. It does not list the ABV, but I believe reading on the website it was like 5.56%, so it's very low, about the range of a domestic beer. But here comes the interesting part, and kind of the gross part, honestly, at least in some people's opinion, the story behind this beer. It says, dedicated to beards. Beard Beer is brewed with a yeast created from brewmaster John Mayer's beard. No need to freak out, brewers have used wild yeasts in beer making for centuries. John has had the same old growth beard since 1978 and for over 15,000 brews, so it is no great surprise that a natural yeast ideal for brewing was discovered in his beard. What does Beard Beer taste like? Try it. We think you'll be surprised. Ingredients are water, hops, barley, and beard yeast. That's a interesting, unique, novel idea to me. Most people, disgusting. I mean, obviously it's not a big deal. Any possible contaminants that could have been present in said yeast would definitely have died off during the brewing processes. But still, it is a novel idea to think that from all the time spent around this beer, supposedly, that yeast has grown in this gentleman's beard, so much so that we can extract and create a beer from it. Charming. So, I don't really know what a wild ale calls for. I'm just going to use my Gingerman standard straight-sided pint glass for this. So, let's just get the cap off of here and see if this is any good. I really have no, going into this, no preconceived notions at all. I mean, this could go good or bad. I have no idea. The color, when poured straight out of the bottle, looks like a domestic beer, just kind of a clear gold. For the ABV being that low, I would have expected a much better head potential, but it has hardly any. There are barely any bubbles rising up to the top. The head is quite weak. The color is kind of an ugly, murky, clear gold sort of color. Clear gold, yes, but it is very murky also. But I don't really see much sediment floating around, if any, so I don't know why it's murky. It is quite ugly to look at. And as you may have imagined, the head is completely gone now. Let's give it a smell. That's smells like a Pilsner. Just got a incredible amount of yeast and yeast and yeast and yeast. It smells like if you've ever smelled a Keystone, Bud Light, Miller, Coors, Pabst Blue Ribbon, you name it. That's what it smells like. Maybe a slightly stronger version of that. And I do get just the absolute most faint trace of kind of a grapefruit hop presence in the very background. To be fair, though, if I were to smell this, I would think this was some special release from a domestic brewery like, Bud Light Platinum or what have you. So, definitely not doing me any favors on the smell. Let's give it a taste and see what this Beardly beer is all about. No. Up front, it starts off decently nice. But man, there is just this foul funk coming on at the end of it. It is metallic as all hell. Up front, it's a nice, light, hoppy sweetness. A little bit of a carbonation bite, but then it fades into this like sort of farmhouse funk taste. It's hard to put my finger on that. It's this funk taste that sharply ends on a very metallic note. Not good, not very good at all. I have absolutely zero reason to finish this beer. I'll see if someone else in the household wants it, because I don't like it. As far as a rating is concerned, I don't really know what to rate it in the style, because I'm not that familiar with wild ales. I'm going to assume from the ratings on Beer Advocate that this is not a good representation of the wild ale style. If this is what they all taste like, then I have no interest in it. That being said, since I'm unfamiliar in the style, I don't feel comfortable giving it a style rating because I don't know what I'm really talking about there. But I can give you my overall impression, and that is pretty crappy. I would probably rate this beer around a 3.5 out of 10, about a 35 out of 100, maybe a 40 on a good day. I could drink this if I was really, really, really hot and sweaty and just thirsty and was like, just give me the nearest thing that isn't water. That's when I could see myself downing this. Other than that, you know, it's not that great. It has a nice aftertaste though, and I just wish the aftertaste and the upfront could be what this tastes like, because this would get decent marks then. Like the exhale is great. Man, the way it develops, just not good. So, that has been my review of Rogue Brewery's Beer to Beer. This was brewed, I believe, one time. It is now retired for obviously good reason. Probably due to his beard running out of yeast, as well as the sales not being that great, or it wasn't received too well. My advice to you is, if you find this, it's probably going to be cheap. I found this big 22-ounce bomber on sale for like $3.99. Once again, I see why. I say, if you're into collecting your bottles, pick it up just because it's such a strange, novel idea. It's probably never going to be brewed again, so if you have one of these, it'll be kind of an interesting little conversation piece if you ever have people over for a tasting or a little drinking session and you point up there and say, hey, did you ever hear of Beard Beer back in the day? They brew that shit in the man's beard. And then it'll be, oh, that's weird. How was it? And you can tell them it was shit. But anyway, that's been my review of Rogue Brewery's Beard Beer. Hope you guys enjoyed it as always, and stay tuned for the next beer review.